Hello there, my fellow agents. We're talking about Tom Clancy The Division, and thankfully Ubisoft gave us a brand new intelligence annex right on their official Tom Clancy The Division blog. We're going to be going over new details about the cleaners, enemy archetypes, and a lot more. Plus, of course, as always, I'm going to be going over your top comments, so please be sure to submit yours below. Comments like this one from Wolfie Z, who goes on to say, I get so happy when I see you have another vid up. That means the world to me to hear you guys say that. And then also, I love the picture of your dog. Just look at him. He is just patiently waiting for you to pet him. So yeah, like I said, Ubisoft gave us a special gift, which is an intelligence annex. They showcase something new this time, which is the cleaners. We finally get some more details about them, and then also some faction details as well. So we're going to dive straight into that right now. Now, they went into details about enemy archetypes and how they want to make them visually appealing so that you can just, look at an enemy and know what to expect. You look at an enemy and know that this guy is going to be a tank-like enemy that's going to be specializing in close quarters combat, or maybe he's more skinny, he's less armored, meaning he will come at you with, a melee weapon or something like that. So just by turning a corner and quickly looking at an enemy, they really want you to visually know what to expect from this enemy in terms of attacks and stuff like that. So there will be many different types of archetypes. You'll have your guy that uses the flamethrower, of course, like a cleaner would, and then you would have, guys that would rush you with melee weapons, and then people that will snipe you from a distance. So expect a wide variety, and the way you tackle them is going to be extremely interesting. So you're going to have to really think outside the box in the game. Now, there was another detail they mentioned in the blog. They mentioned, the cleaners. You could roam around the city. You'll spot the cleaners facing off against another faction. So they will be busy with faction versus faction warfare even when you're not looking. Now, the level design director, Victor Kringle, I hope I got that right, said it is most likely that players will first encounter a roaming group of them, and he's talking about the cleaners, whilst exploring Manhattan. It's a good move to ambush them while they tangle with another faction, but often it's just best to run. So running is going to actually be an option in the game. This reminds me a lot, again, of Dark Souls. In Dark Souls, if you came across an enemy that you just couldn't handle, you better back off, think about it, upgrade your character, get some resistance, against poison or whatever you need to do, and then go back in and tackle the task at hand. I really do believe the Division is going to be offering those exact same challenges as you explore the city. So I've spoken about this a lot in the past, and that is how characters and the environment should really mesh well together in an open world game. One game that did this very well, in my opinion, was Borderlands. Once you roamed into an environment, you found like a goofy little girl, and that stuck in your head. You'd go back to that environment and you would think to yourself, there's this goofy little girl here. They're trying to do somewhat a similar thing with the Division, but the opposite, more of a darker tone, of course. When you roam the environment and you start to see fire, you better beware. There's going to be a cleaner group nearby. These cleaners will be burning everything. So if you're roaming at night and you see the city ablaze, be careful, because the cleaners are around, or maybe you see a charred area on the ground where they've already done their burning or cleansing of the environment. And if you stumble upon the virus, it's active in an area within the city, be warned, the cleaners will be around the corner, and it really does make the characters feel like they're living in the actual open world. Again, this is something that Borderlands did very well, in my opinion, and a lot of other open world games, have really dropped the ball with this. I'm pointing the finger once again at Destiny. I feel like there's absolutely no NPCs. There's no rhyme or reason why enemies are there. And it's good news to hear that the environment actually reflects the visual look of what the cleaners have been doing and why they are there. So I've actually always wondered this. Will you roam into a dark zone and then go to the hospital, and then there will be a group of cleaners clearing it out? Will you exit that after defeating them and then go back in and see them doing the same patrols? Well, that is not going to be happening in the Division. They are going to be moving around dynamically. Of course, they will be more tied down to the zones that have been infected throughout the city, but they will be on the hunt for new prey, so to speak. They will be going around looking for the virus, you know, and really roaming around dynamically, getting into fights with other factions, other NPCs. So it's very dynamic and persistent on how the cleaners roam around and, you know, explore the city. They're exploring the city almost in the same way that you are, and you may stumble upon them when you least expect it. So a lot of us are wondering, how in the world is difficulty handled in The Division? Well, thankfully, The Division World did do an interview, and you may have missed the details about that. Difficulty sounds like it's going to be dynamic like the rest of the game. When you are exploring, you know, expect one area to be much more difficult than another area. Again, you're going to have to go back and upgrade. I do not think you're going to be able to toggle the difficulty in the options menu. I don't think that's going to be the case in The Division because they want the experience to be pretty level throughout. They want everyone experiencing the same exact thing, simply because it is an MMO. It would be interesting if they did add difficulty settings for certain co-op missions, like the host of the co-op mission was in charge of the difficulty. So hopefully we see something like that. We know that was in Destiny, where you could up the difficulty, so you never know, that could actually be the case. But this dynamic difficulty as you are exploring the city will impact your decisions and how you explore the city. So exploring the city is very much a risk versus reward. Do you keep going forward, or do you turn back, you know, trade your items, upgrade your gear and stuff like that? So a lot of decision making just with the exploration of New York City. So now, on to the top comments. Remember, be sure to submit your comment below for a chance for it to end up in the video. Here we go. So, Chris Clear asks, will there be bulletproof armor and armor-piercing rounds to help more easily damage those with armor? Yes, I would imagine there would be something like this. In fact, I believe there's around 5 different ammunition types in The Division for your weapons. So, also, I would think that you would be able to go explore in the world, gather the crafting materials to make your own ammo. I hope that's the case at least. Or just go to the base of operations and purchase the proper ammo. I think it's going to work, you know, a lot like the typical RPG or MMO, where you have those several ammo types, just like Destiny. Maybe it's even more extensive than Destiny. And then also remember, you're going to have to really go after that group leader. I imagine that he would have some sort of resistance against whatever it is you are using. So you're going to have to consider changing up tactics. And remember, this is a classless game, so you can really switch your tactics on the fly, which is nice. Going from engagement to engagement and changing your strategy. It's really about thinking on the fly in The Division. So this is a really good one. Martin Soderstrom asks, I have a question that's been on my mind for a while. Why does agents attack other agents in PvP zones? Aren't the agents supposed to fight for the same cause, sent out by the same people? Then why would they attack each other? There must be an explanation for this. Have I missed this completely, which I doubt, or have we just not gotten an explanation for this? We have not gotten an explanation for this, and as Ubisoft Massive has described, they want the story to be a surprise. And again, this story is going to be unfolding through that ecosystem. You know, as you go and explore, you'll find you know, bits and pieces of information that will interconnect and form this story. Now, why would agents be attacking other agents? The only thing that I can think of is if the government was really struggling with itself. Maybe this was an inside job or something like that, you know. So there's a lot of theories. Please, I want to know yours, actually. I want to know, why would agents be attacking agents in New York City? And, you know, could the virus be expanding beyond its borders? Could we see, you know, the virus in all of the United States? Remember, this game is likely to have sequels. So guys, that does it for the comments and the video. Thank you once again for your support. If you enjoy my content, please give me a like and a share if you want. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me, and it really does help me out here on Overworld Games. But guys, as always, look forward to more Tom Clancy The Division right here on Overworld Games. And again, we are right here on YouTube. Subscribe to stay updated. We have a Facebook page, a Twitter, and we are out on twitch.tv/openworldgamer. But guys, as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.
Alright, the store was empty. I heard that gunfire. Nick, check your map, see if there's anything in the area. That police station's going critical.